Welcome to Inspire, a new 5-part Black History Month series here at WMBF News. I'm your host, Derrion Henderson. All month long, we're going to be introducing you to some inspiring people in our community. And I brought along our reporters to help share their stories as well. We began here in Conway. Our Samuel Shelton told me about two sisters who opened a juice bar here in Conway, and we just had to stop by and get a taste for ourselves. So let's welcome LaBria Strong and Shaquasia Coleman to Inspire! Woo, 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 woo. And also Samuel Shelton here.
Hello.
He's also here too. Ladies, it is so good to have y'all here on Inspire. I know we're about to have a good laugh, but also have a good conversation as well. Let's start off with where we're at right now, right? Juice Crush here in Conway. It's beautiful in here. The drinks are pretty good, right? What is this? What's going on? What's going on, Quay?
Well, what's going on is my sister and I got the bright idea to open up a juice bar. We started in our home in 2020 during COVID, and it was because we were once juicing for our mother, who once had, well, she passed with colon cancer, and we started juicing for her, but we wanted to make this something to bring into our routine, so we started juicing during COVID. And then when we started juicing during COVID, then people started finding out about it. And so in our homes, we were making juices, and that's how it got big. And we didn't think it would get this big to where we are in the storefront, but it did. So we had to get up out the house, and in 2021, we came to Conway.
Yeah. And y'all did something very creative with it as well. I mean, you each could have been like, okay, this is a strawberry one, okay,
Yeah.
this is a lemon one, this is that. Y'all put names on them though. Like, tell me what's up with the name Juice Crush and how it relates to like the drinks as well.
Well, sex sells, and so that's where we got the concept from. You know, we saw how well Slutty Vegan was doing in Atlanta, and then we were like, you know, people love, people love the raunchy stuff, and so Juice Crush came about when we were in the house just throwing out names, to be honest. And then the names just started going crazy. So we had like DMs, and then it was like, how do you feel when you have a crush? Like when you're liking somebody, what goes on? They're sending you DMs. They're, you know, telling you, no, they're fronting. Or you're like, I'm tired of him fronting on me. Or, you know, call me. But then we said, call me, baby. And then we had Oh Baby Baby Beats. Yeah. And then, you know.
Like a sneaky link too. I saw that. Sneaky link.
Because everybody has once. It may not have been called that back in the day,
okay.
But you know, at some point in your life, you had a sneaky link, okay? Or you had a friends with benefits,
yeah.
You know, so
a situationship.
So we know that every time someone comes in and they get a kick out the names, we knew it would be memorable.
Absolutely. Y'all got some, I believe, that's named after songs too, right?
We do.
Like Playing Games.
Playing
That's
Games.
summer, right?
Yep.
Okay. I have a question though. So Let It Burn. All right, now I'm gonna be judging when you answer this question, okay? Is this Let It Burn by Usher, or is this Let It Burn by Jasmine Sullivan?
Oh, okay. You know,
Take your time.
We love Jasmine.
Take your time and answer the question. Because if not, we just gonna wrap this up.
That's what Look, what do you say, Bree?
Both.
Good answer.
We don't miss a Jasmine concert. We don't miss one. So yeah, that's hard. That was hard. That was a hard one. That was cute though.
But when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, like that's just so amazing. We have some of the drinks right here too,
Yeah.
and like it's some fresh fruit going on in here.
Right.
Just doing too much.
Yeah, that's one of our infused waters, and that definitely does too much in your system. Yeah. So it's doing too much because a crush could be doing too much too, but that's also going to do too much to you. Like
so
that's going, yep, that's a detox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like, okay, this is doing too much.
Yeah, this is ooh, yeah. You're gonna have that for
Absolutely.
sure.
What was your thoughts, Emily, when you came and checked out all this stuff?
When I came to check it out, well, for one, customer service alone sold me. And then just knowing that these products here are helping transform communities, it just, I'm like, it just made me kept wanting to come back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And how did y'all come up with the concept though? You said y'all was just in the house just throwing stuff at the wall and just trying to figure it out, and then bam, you had it. But how did you know when you like had it?
So when people started calling us, and so we're in the Myrtle Beach area, and then when we get a call from Georgetown to say, hey, can y'all deliver? And we're like, okay, we got something here, you know. And then, you know, once we just started getting those phone calls for deliveries, you know, we started meeting people in Columbia, because we moved back here from Columbia, so we were going to Florence, Columbia,
Charleston,
and Shaquasia's like, we got to get out of my house. We
got to the point where we bought 2 refrigerators.
2 refrigerators,
you
one
know.
just for Juice Crush, and then her personal, of course. But yeah, she was just like, we got to go. So,
it's time to get out of here. It's good to have you, but now it's time to move.
Exactly.
So were y'all delivering like yourselves, or did you have your little minions out there, like, hey, like do what to do, or y'all was like in the car driving down to Georgetown?
Well, at first we did a form of secret marketing. My major was public relations, and I'm serious about like protecting the brand, and we knew we were in the house.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we're not gonna put our names on it, our faces on it just yet. And when we would deliver, we would show up and people were like, oh shoot, this your business? Because they didn't know for a while. Like they did not know. So they were calling in or they were following on Facebook, or word of mouth traveled really fast, and that's just how it blew up.
Yeah. And the thing about Black-owned businesses and Black support is that when we know, you know, brothers and sisters are behind it, we're going to support.
Right.
We're coming out.
For sure.
You know, it's almost sometimes, honestly, the first thing we say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 sisters on that over there.
Yeah.
Oh, what is? Oh, it's a juice bar. Go check it out. And I think that's what I love about our culture is a lot of that. How has the success been over here as well?
It's been really well. So whenever we got the opportunity to come to Conway, we knew that Conway was a desert community and they didn't have an actual juice bar. And so the Conway community definitely opened, you know, their arms to us, and they check in on us and they make sure we're okay, we're doing okay, and they have shown us love. And it's really a lot of love when our Myrtle Beach customers travel to Conway because everyone hates 501 traffic.
They do.
So when you fight 501 traffic, so if you travel to come see us, you know, we're like, the love is real. So we just thank everyone who comes, you know, near and far, you know, to support us and make sure, you know, they support our business so we can stay in business.
And you could have easily just opened up in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Easily.
Right.
There's a whole lot of businesses down there. I'm pretty sure some great, maybe even better incentives in some ways. So why was Conway like, no, we're going to go out to Conway. We're going to take this step. Let's take this move out to Conway.
Because it was a desert community. And then we had the option of reopening Chops Produce with Cheryl Adamson, Dr. Cheryl Adamson, and Reverend Cheryl Adamson. So she wanted to reopen the fruit stand, and she offered us an option to make it an incubator space. So she helped us keep our expenses low by subleasing from her. So shout out to her for that. But then we had the option to take over the entire building. And so being in a desert community is seriously important, because coming here, we're able to teach everybody about the benefits of fruit and vegetables and, you know, just a natural way of healing. And that's just been the best part of opening a juice bar here, is like the teaching aspect of it and them wanting to learn. So that's my greatest reward. What about yours?
Yeah, and just hearing their stories, I feel like, you know, with Juice Crush, we create a safe space so we can all talk about it, because we're all going through something. We all know someone who's going through something, and they're scared to ask the doctors because they're intimidated. So then they come to us and we're like, ask your doctor, but you know,
we're not doctors, you know.
But you know, we're like, hey, we can do this together.
I got the juice.
All with me, empathy.
Right. But you know, we help them. We do our research, and then we also we're blessed to have doctors who are our customers as well. So whenever they come and patronize with us, we kind of throw in those questions and like, hey, we got someone going through this. You know, what should they, you know, intake a little bit more? So it's just rewarding just to have that space to talk about it and to kind of create something for them.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the backstory as well, because I know you mentioned earlier, you know, how you guys started this back, I believe it was 2017, when your mom was battling colon cancer. Not to go back to that time, I'm pretty sure it was a hard time for you, but why did y'all turn to juicing during that period of time? When part of y'all research did it come to the point, like, okay, like, let's try juicing with her?
So I moved down first and to kind of help take care of my mom and my grandmother. So whenever, you know, we were going to these doctor's appointments and I'm seeing like, okay, I know she was hiding food because with the certain chemos, you know, they don't have an appetite. They don't want to eat. They, you know, they do want to drink for the most part. But it's like whenever it's time to go get an IV, you're severely dehydrated. They can't even, you know, find your vein. We have to figure something out. So that's when I went to the juicing and the smoothies and kind of adding the protein and, you know, kind of going from there. And that kind of created what Juice Crush, you know, started from.
Right.
And yeah,
and it's definitely grown. I think that's amazing because, like you said, even going back to like the food desert.
Yeah.
You know, having fresh fruits and veggies in your community. You know, it's one thing to talk about obesity in the Black community and say, you know, what can we do? What can we do? Well, we can have access to fresh food.
Right.
You know, that's something that's simple that can happen. So I think that's amazing. So when did it come? I know you said you was in the apartment and started like doing the apartment and doing online. But when y'all first like opened up the doors, I know you said you shared the space before, but now it's yours. What went through your mind, or what goes through your mind? Because you're still in the space right now.
Right.
When you come and you open up this door every single day.
We're blessed. Yeah, because I come in here with her and I'm like, girl, and then the first thing we do it every morning, is we pray with one another because like, it's been hard coming from corporate and being an entrepreneur. People glorify entrepreneurship, but when you're in it, it's hard. It's a difference between working in and on, and we're doing both. So, you know, it's extremely hard, and then we're not making those salaries that we once made. So you're depending on your business, and you know, the lifestyle we once had, it's like, it's okay. It's been cool for the past couple of years to sit down. And, you know, I might miss a trip with my sorors. Or I can't go to homecoming this year. You know, it's okay to take that time off and just focus on the business. So we've been enjoying that. But entrepreneurship without having help isn't entrepreneurship at all. And I'm like, if I did not have my sister doing this, shoot.
Yeah.
Walking in here, it'd have been like, but knowing that I have her and we have a great time every day, we laugh.
Yeah.
We rolled back the cameras the other night and I was like, girl, all we doing here is laugh. So, you know, like having her and then walking in here just knowing this is ours, it's a great feeling. It's a huge blessing.
and to still be in business.
Oh, yes.
You know, kind of going over that 1 to 2 year mark. You know, small businesses have it the hardest.
Yes.
You know. So just to be on year 3, walking into year 4 almost, it's like.
What did the customer tell you?
They were like, y'all are doing a good job if you're still in business. And I was like,
At first it was like, I'm a little bit offended, but then I was like, you know what, we are. You know,
y'all know what y'all doing. I think so too. So
yeah.
Taking that phrase, oh, you still got that small business, or you still got that little business,
little business.
and you amplify it. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Every single day.
Yeah, you can't little business us.
No.
Big business.
Big
Yeah.
Big boss.
Big boss.
And let's take a step back and also think about like y'all upbringing as well. I know y'all both went to USC, University of Gamecocks. I don't know what happened this past season, but we're going to go past that. And more than just, you know, regular sisters, you guys are also sorority sisters as well,
Yes.
you know, divas of Delta Sigma Theta, correct? You know, so you just got to love that and love all that camaraderie. But there's some differences between them too, right? Yeah, you know, because one up answers the phone and one up don't. You know, one answers the phone and one has a little trouble. You know,
busy.
busy. Okay.
literally the phone fell as I was answering. It literally fell. Like I'm in the car.
What are excuses?
Okay, what are excuses?
She was there. She seen it.
And she's like, that's the same number. Call me. Call me.
Yeah, and I was like, I was trying to call back, and you were already calling her.
So what happened, y'all? All right. So Samuel told me who he wanted for this podcast. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me get the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Let me get them up. Let me go ahead and schedule it, right? So I called Quay first. I'm like, oh, I like Quay's name. Let me call Quay. So I called Quay. Boop. Voicemail. I'm like, okay, it's
you
cool.
called Bree first.
I called Bree first.
Yeah.
I did call Bree first.
See
I called Bree first. And I'm like, hey, like, you know, I'm Derrion. Give me a call back whenever you can. I'm like, gosh, she played me to the left. So I went on ahead, so I called Bree's number. And I was like, hey, yeah, I called your sister. She answered the phone. She's like, yeah, she sat next to me. I said, now, girl.
And I was in the middle of calling you back. I was.
But it's all love, though.
Tell him, Quay.
He was.
I was in the middle of calling
As soon
him
as we had
back.
that conversation, I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to have a time. We are going to have a time sitting here. So, again, thank y'all for coming here as well. But talking about, like, the different paths that even that y'all went to school for, right? Let's start with Quay. Because you went to school for property management.
I went to school for public relations.
Public relations.
Yes.
What were you trying to do with that?
So I love Sex in the City. At first, I went to school for broadcast. Samantha.
Samantha, okay.
Yeah. I love Sex in the City. At first, I went to school for broadcast journalism.
Okay.
USC has a great journalism school. I can't say that enough. Well, let me go back. I went to Clark Atlanta first for journalism, and then I transferred over to USC. Yeah, I was there and then the A. Went to Carolina, and then I was like, this is boring, sorry. But it was boring. It was like, we was writing the scripts, and I was like, oh, you got to get that at this minute mark, and that. I couldn't get jiggy with it. So then I wanted to stay in the journalism school, and then I was like, you know what? Samantha did PR. I know I can do PR. But then my life got a little like, yeah, it happens. And then I was chasing money. So in undergrad, I wanted free rent. And then that's how I got focused on property management. I went to the office. They gave me a job as the maintenance girl at first. I moved up to a leasing agent. Then I moved up to a leasing manager, all within 6 months. And then my career just took off to corporate. And then the last position I had right before COVID, and I couldn't travel anymore, I was a regional support manager. So I would go around to properties in our region and just make sure, like the Olivia Pope, you know, clean it up. Yeah. Y'all messy out here, I got to clean this up. So, you know, they didn't like when I came, but I made them feel good when I did come. So that always worked out.
Yeah. You said it's kind of similar to your story too, right?
Undergrad, I had about 3 jobs.
Yeah.
One of them was an orientation leader and a leasing agent.
Yeah.
So just that similar path just to get me where I am today.
And I love leasing agents.
Yeah.
You know, we talk to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all be tripping sometime, though. You
It
know.
depends if you come in there tripping first.
That part.
And then I hired my sister and my cousin. They worked for me at
There's a whole lot of nepotism.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of nepotism going on. When they were in college. Yeah, because you know, we like this. We're going to put each other on. My girl going to get free rent. My cousin going to get free rent. You know, we good. So that's how she got started in it.
Yeah. So I actually went to school. I changed my major a few times. So I knew I wanted to go somewhere in the medical field. I started with nursing, and then I was just like, you know, I had to wait another year to apply. And I was like, at this point, I was working in the office with her. I was moving up already to leasing agent, leasing manager after she left. And then I was like, well, I just need to get out of school at this point because, you know, I think I'm going to go this route with the housing, and I was actually going to get my real estate license. So I went the public health route, kind of got me out of there quicker. And then, yeah, it just, I was able to learn both backgrounds with, you know, the health disparities in the community, but then also, you know, with the real estate side as well. So it worked out.
Did you ever think all of that would come together?
Not at all. Because when I was going nursing, I was like, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna like it anyway, because the only person I actually want to nurse will be my grandmother, you know, and my mom. Like, I don't want to deal with everyone. So, you know, I didn't think it would be like full circle here. No, not at all.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm pretty sure it just goes back to, once again, walking in here every day. How does it feel to be in business with your sister? You know, because they always say that too. They talk about nepotism, which is, you know.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
It works and it works, right? But like, you know, the first thing you hear when it comes to a lot of times with business things of that nature is don't hire your family.
That's
you know,
it.
Don't get in business with your family. You know, it's detrimental. What's I mean, clearly it's working now, but like, what's y'all, you know, mindset or response when people say that?
Well, the two of us, you know, as any siblings growing up, it was like, girl, stop wearing this and stop wearing my stuff, you know, but we've always gotten along. Like when I went to college and came back, that was my homie. We're 7 years apart, but we've always been extremely close. Like during her spring breaks in high school, she would come. So she did all the college parties. She did all the
USC's campus, and I knew I was going there.
I know this like a back road.
Our mother was so, like, her main focus was for the two of us to make sure we got along, and I'm so glad that she forced that on us, and then it just became natural, you know, like, that's my best friend. So knowing that I'm in business with my sister and the two of us were not going to take from one another, I wouldn't do business with anybody else. Like it's hard to trust people, but I know this is somebody who has my front and my back and my side and my side. Right. So yes. Yeah.
And I think it was, you know, us working together before yes. you know, but, you know, in her role, she was my boss then, you know, so I had to listen to her. Now I think she had to, you know, warm up for the 50-50, like, girl, I'm the boss too, you know? So, but, you know, it works out well. We know we get each other's energies. We know, like, hey, I don't know if she's having a good or bad day, so let me just step to the side. But, you know, we kind of yin and yang. Yeah.
And since she was your boss, did you have any like get back you have to get? Like, you know, I remember that. I remember that one time I wanted to leave a little early and you was tripping.
Yeah, dude. But there were times when she would forget I was her sister. Like on the little sister protective side, I'll never forget this one little girl was like, where the property manager at? And she was helping these people move in and she did like that. Bree has this, she's really nice. So she said, I'll be right back. And then like to tell the people, she's like, what's up? What's up? She okay? She got everything? I was like, girl, no. Go back up front.
No,
don't do this.
My defense, she was in her office and the whole family went in her office. And I was like, wait, like, y'all can't jump on my sister now. I had to go and
she forgot that she was my employee.
I'm here, I'll be right back. And I had to
go. She said, whoa, I'm not gonna play.
She good for that.
Right, listen.
But you know, to our friends and our family, we are like the biggest tag teamers. We will tag team your butt down. People say that, so they know when they come here. Listen, you're gonna get tag team. One's gonna come from one way and the other. Like, so come correct. We got you now.
Step right.
Right, step right. Yep.
And tag teaming, and also in terms of like what goes into people's bodies. Like, you ain't been drinking your water. You ain't been, you know, taking your supplements. So
we get in their business, like, and they're comfortable. She said that before. They're real comfortable with us, and we appreciate that because there are a lot of times where, you know, people aren't having these conversations. And so I think our customers love that we are the owners and we actually care because we do. Like, I learned this from property management. You need to know everyone's name. Yeah. When you know someone's name, they feel super duper important. That's one of my biggest things. Like, customer service is, I'm queen customer service. She'll tell you that. If I feel like you should always speak and make sure you know a little bit about somebody who's spending money with your business. So, yeah, we love getting to people's businesses.
Those repeat faces, you know?
Yes.
Because people come back.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the product wasn't the best, you know what I'm saying, sometimes, but I like you. Yeah. And I know I'm gonna give you another chance, right? And if I come back, oh, it was great. Yeah. And I'm gonna definitely come back. You know what I mean? I think that means the most. I mean, more than like anything, honestly. You know, so the fact that y'all are making sure that that's it, like, you know how and why we come back, right? And honing in on that is just gonna make y'all business go even better. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. Y'all so inspiring. Yeah. What it's for. So speaking of being inspired, I would love to know who inspired both of you all.
Well, I would say my biggest inspiration would be my grandmother. So
that's mine.
We love her. But you know, our grandmother, she was a diabetic, and growing up in our household, you know, we baking cakes with grandma was a thing. You know, that was our weekend, you know, thing that we did. Yep. But then, like, grandma was hiding, like, these little packages that was coming in the mail. And then, you know, in our household, she was, baby, they say I got a touch of sugar.
A touch of sugar.
No, baby, you are a full-blown diabetic. So when she was hiding that, next thing you know, we go to the doctor's appointment, and it's like, we're going to have an amputate. So it started from one leg, and then it started to the next. So it was like, you're a double amputee in your 70s. So doing this, I mean, of course, that's just going from an independent person, like, I'm not dependent on someone to, you know, cook for me, got to clean my clothes and all of this, and to being like, oh, now I am, you know, in this wheelchair, in this Hoover scooter. But she, every day, she always had a smile on her face. Always. And you'd be like, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm great, can't complain, and nobody wants to hear that. And we still say that to this day, but it was just like, to know that someone lost their legs in their 70s and has the best sense of humor and willing to take on the day, and then you meet these people who are like, you got your legs, your eyes, your sight, everything, and you are miserable, and you're complaining, and you're trying to make the next person miserable because you're not having a good day, like, you know. And she wasn't like that at all, and she just inspired me, because it's like any obstacle that comes your way, you know, keep going. Yes. Push forward, and don't bring someone down just because you're not where you want to be. Right. So,
for sure.
Sorry I took yours.
Yeah, you did. But then other than that, my mother as well. My mom was a single mother who raised 2 kids. We saw her last pay stub. Don't know how she did it. But we got everything. I never went without. Like, I had the car in school. We had the phones. We had, like, this. That's materialistic, but she was always there. So just knowing that I don't know how she did it. I don't know how. We don't have any children yet. And so they say, have the kids, and then I see everybody like, I gotta go to this practice, this, and I'm like, how you do that with all the kids? But to know that I've seen a mom do it, and she never complained, got up early in the morning, made sure I was always fed, supported. She was definitely an inspiration as well. And I mean, she inspired Juice Crush. I mean, that's our main inspiration behind Juice Crush, is our mother, and then her battle with cancer and us healing her, or trying to heal her. I don't want to say that, because then I sound like Dr. Sebi out here. But us helping her during her journey, you know? So, and that's definitely a big inspiration.
Absolutely. Now, I'm probably sure, you know, when the probably called and was like, hey, I get you on the podcast, you're probably like, okay, this is random. You know what I mean? But there's a reason why we wanted you on the podcast, Samuel. You want to share with them?
Well, of course, the name of this show is Inspire, and I'll just have to say, you two do just that. Like, just looking at people here throughout our community, you know, I cover a lot of the Grand Strand, I cover a lot of the PD, and when it comes to businesses being, you know, involved with their customers, and just seeing what y'all do on a day-to-day basis just is really inspirational. So, thank you. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
We just wanted to make sure that you all knew that you were appreciated in the community, give you a platform and a space to let people know about your business as well, you know, because it's important, you know, making sure we're all here for one another as we start off Black History Month. Is to uplift one another and inspire one another. And a big thing why I even wanted to start this series is because, you know, I think a lot of times when Black History Month comes around, of course, it's always a space to make sure our history is told. But I think sometimes we get so involved with trying to tell the past history that we don't realize we're living in it right now. And there's so much around us that we need to appreciate, and that we should appreciate, and that we're going to appreciate as long as we make sure we have those platforms to make sure that we are doing just that. So thank y'all so much for being here. This whole conversation was good. Before we go, though, could you please let the folks know out there where they can come check you out? I know you're right off of 501, so you can't miss you. But let the folks know the address, the phone number, the times, all that good stuff.
Go ahead, Bree.
So we are currently, we are located at 505 Church Street, Conway. So we're at the intersection right across from the Money Saver and Cherry Hill Baptist Church. And we are here, we're closed on Sundays, Mondays 10 to 2, and Tuesday through Friday 10 to 6, and on Saturday 10 to 4. And we have another location in Myrtle Beach that is currently under construction. Yes, and that will be at 515 9th Avenue North, Myrtle Beach.
Come on to location. You love to hear it. You love to hear it. Thank y'all so much. Thank
you.
Go ahead and get Come on, Sammy. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank y'all for joining us here for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to watch all the episodes of Inspire, a Black History Month series on the WMBF YouTube channel, and also check it out where you listen to your podcasts.